Unit 7 World Wars and Modern America 1900s 1930s. It's impossible to separate America's history from world history. George Washington instructed politicians to avoid foreign entanglement, and they tried and tried. The beginning of the 20th century put an end to that. It was hard to hide the other side of the ocean. The US affected and was affected by the rest of the world. Chapter 32 The Great War. What they were fighting about. The exact cause of the World War First, World WW1, initially called the Great War. It's hard to pinpoint. Peace in Europe was so fragile that anything could have set off a conflict. It was a power keg, a small barrel, power keg, very dangerous. A power keg, very dangerous, waiting for a spark from. Imperialism, especially in Africa, multi-parties, an arms race was happening. Nationalism reinvigorated the food vitality sense of patriotism. Countries wanted to prove their might. Ethnic groups wanted to form their own nations. Alliances. The Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The Triple Entente, Britain, France, and Russia. Entente, the understanding or agreement. Remember the main reasons for World War I using this mnemonic device. Militaries, alliance, imperialism, nationalism. Main. Millions of Slavic people who lived under the Austro-Hungarian Empire wanted to become part of Serbia. On June 28, 1914, a Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip assassinated Arthur Franz Ferdinando, heir to the throne of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and his wife, Sophie, in Sarajevo. A month later, on July 28, 1914, Austria declared war on Serbia. Alliances. People defended their allies. Germany, an Austro-Hungarian ally, declared war on Russia, which supported Serbia. Germany also declared war on France, a Russian ally. When Germany invaded Belgium, a neutral country between Germany and France, Britain, an ally of France and Belgium, declared war on Germany. By early August 1914, a full-scale war had developed in Europe. The two sides were the general powers, Austria-Hungary, German, the Ottoman Empire, Bulgaria. The Allied powers were the Allies, Serbia, Russia, France, Great Britain, later Japan and Italy. Europe, 1914. Russia, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, which Italy, Greece, Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Ottoman Empire, Spain, Portugal, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, North Sea, Great Britain, Atlantic Ocean, Norway, Sweden, Battle Sea. American neutrality. President Wilson was determined to follow George Washington's advice to steer clear of foreign conflict, American planned to continue trading with both the Allies and the Central Powers. The first battle of the Marne. Germany was fighting a war on two fronts, Russia in the west and France and England in the west. The Germans tried to advance into France to knock France out of the war quickly so they could focus on Russia. However, the small Belgian army held them off for nearly 3 weeks, giving France and Britain time to prepare to fight. The French and British stopped the German at the Marne River near Paris and declared victory in the first battle of the Marne, September 6 through 12, 1914. Trench warfare. The first battle of the Marne proved that neither side would have an easy victory. The armies used a new style of fighting, trench warfare, ditch. Soldiers stayed in dugout and trenches for long stretches of time with no man's land in between them. The soldiers would sometimes fire at one another, but there were few gains for either side, causing a stalemate, deadlock, dead end, stalemate, a situation in which nothing can be done or won by either side, also called enforge. Trench warfare, no man's land, barbed wire, front line trench, dugout, support trench, reserve trench, artillery. In 1916, Allied and Central Power tried to end the impasse on the Western Front. In February, the Germans incited, stir up, encourage, inside the Battle of Verdun. In July, the Allies instigated, put in motion, bring something about, the Battle of the Somme. The battle caused high casualty. More new age of fighting. Modern weapons caused far more casualties at a faster rate than ever before. The slaughter, massacre on the battlefield led to despair and the destruction of an entire generation of men. Machine gun and artillery, poison gas, submarine, gas mask, armed tank, first used by the British in 1916. Airplane, artillery, guns too big to carry, such as cannon or rocket launchers. Pilots who shot down lots of enemy planes were called aces. The most famous German are the Manfred von Richthofen, so called the Red Baron. The most famous American was Eddie Limbenker. The Lusitania. Naval warfare also changed. The Allies blocked off German port. The Germans retaliated by targeting Allied ships with submarine called undersea boat, the U-boat, undersea boat. On May 7, 1915, a U-boat sank the British ship Lusitania, killing 1,000 people, including over 100 Americans. There were ammunition and unlawful goods in the cargo, but Lusitania was a passenger ship, and the civilian deaths seemed inhumane. Still determined to remain neutral, Wilson convinced Germany to make the Sussex village named as another ship torpedoed by U-boat and promised not to target ships that didn't carry weapons. The war had cost the lives of millions of Europeans. Wilson was re-elected president in 1916 on the slogan, "He kept us out of war." The next year, the Germans went back to attacking all Allied ships, using a policy of unrestricted submarine warfare. They intended to cut off the British ally from supplies, forcing an end to the war before Americans intervened. It almost worked. The Zimmermann Note. In early 1917, British intelligence intercepted a telegram from a German officer named Arthur Zimmermann. The Zimmermann Note proposed the alliance between Germany and Mexico against the U.S. The exchange, Germany would help Mexico get back Texas and other lost territories. Mexico declined, but the telegram was published by American newspapers, and anti-German sentiment boiled over. On April 2nd, 1917, Wilson asked Congress to declare war. After 3 days of debate, the U.S. entered the Great War. They didn't know there would be a World War II, so nobody called it World War First. Convoy. The U.S. helped the Allies by introducing the convoy system. Convoy, a group traveling together, open for safety. Sending cargo ships across the Atlantic accompanied by warship to protect them from U-boat attacks. Over there, the American expeditionary forces. When the American Army called American Expeditionary Forces (AEF), led by General John Pershing, arrived in France, it provided an influx of energy to the Allies. French and British troops were exhausted and running out of supplies. Many believe that the AEF soldiers were called the Dodge Boys because the buttons on their uniforms looked like a dog. Ready to fight. Even with a large number of volunteers, including women and African Americans, the U.S. military wasn't ready to handle such a big war. In May of 1917, the Selective Service Act started the draft for all men between the ages of 21 and 30. Black draftees were segregated from white in the African American forces, but some fought with the French army, which was less discriminatory. Some were awarded the French Cross of War medal for their bravery. The government got